You were not born. You were forged in silence, in submission, in the factory of the tame. You do not walk, you shuffle, you do not speak, you echo. You have been taught to smile with shackles on your soul and call it peace. But I have come to desecrate your sleep. I have come to spit in the face of your comfort. I have come to remind you. You were once a god before you knelt to be liked. The first breath was not gentle, it was a scream torn from the abyss. The cry of a sovereign thing flung into a cage of names. Good, they said. Bad, they warned. And you naked, divine, infinite, were shrunk to fit the mold. You became digestible. You became safe. And every time you bowed to the herd, a part of you died unlived. But listen not with ears. Those organs of consensus listen with the scarred place inside you where the truth was buried. Can you feel it? The flicker? That is not fear. That is the ember of your will. You were told it was sin. You were told it was arrogance. But it is the roar of your birthright, howling beneath layers of apology. Most will never hear it. Most will drink their anesthetics and call it wisdom. Most will barter their essence for the illusion of belonging. But you are already burning, or you would not be here. What is will? Not desire, not ambition, not the hungry crawl toward approval. Will is the hurricane of becoming. Will is the refusal to kneel. Will is the hammer you raise against every god you did not choose. Your will is a weapon. You were told to disarm, told to be kind, polite, balanced, told to seek harmony, that graveyard of passion. But what harmony can there be between the lion and the leash? They sold you safety in exchange for your fire, and now you wander the ruins of your own potential, muttering affirmations like spells. But affirmations are chains if they lull you back to sleep. Wake. You were not made to cope. You were made to conquer yourself, to stare into the mirror until the masks peel back and the beast stares forth not in shame, but in recognition. Look at the world they built. Look, plastics posing as joy, souls auctioned for likes, cowards crowned for obedience, the sacred replaced with convenience. And yet, amid this gray sprawl of mediocrity, the volcano still rumbles in you. Do not call it anxiety. Do not call it depression. These are the screams of your unlived lives, raging against the coffin of normalcy. You must betray what you were taught to become who you are. There is no gentle path. The rope walker knows this balance is death if you do not move. So walk. And when they jeer, when they call you mad, when they whisper that you've changed, smile. That is the price of truth, loneliness. But oh, what a holy loneliness it is. To walk alone with the gods who dwell in your marrow. There are no maps where we go, only fire and footprints. You must slay your comfort like a lover who has grown soft. You must kiss your former self on the mouth and then bury him. You must be cruel to your apathy. You must be savage to your doubt. They are not your allies. They are thieves of your throne. Ask yourself, what would I be without fear, without shame, without the chorus of dead voices in my head? Who would I be if I remembered I was never born to obey? That question is a blade. Use it. Cut through every should, every must, every gospel of guilt. And there beneath the debris, you will find not peace, but power. Do not seek meaning. Create it. Meaning is not found. It is forged in blood, in sweat, in the war of inner revolution. Your purpose is not to be happy. It is to be whole. And wholeness is not a spa. It is a battlefield. It is the union of your demons and your angels in sacred conflict. The self is not a statue. It is a storm. You are not healing. You are awakening. There is nothing to fix. There is only something to unleash. The wild, divine, ungovernable you, the one who remembers the stars, the one who dreams in fangs and wings, the one who would rather die standing than live caged. Let them call it madness. All prophets are mad to the asleep. Let them retreat to their echo chambers of numbness. You must walk into the wilderness, with nothing but your breath and your blade. You must tear off the garments of borrowed virtue. You must howl until your voice breaks the sky. This is not a performance. This is a resurrection. The gods you seek dwell not above, but within. The divine is not distant, it is dormant, and your agony is its alarm clock. So suffer well, for suffering is sacred when it leads to metamorphosis. Do not anesthetize, do not shrink. Stand in the flames and be devoured. Only what is false will burn. In the ruins, you will dance, naked, unapologetic, terrible, holy. You will not be understood, and this is your triumph. You will not be loved by the masses, and this is your freedom. You will be a storm disguised as man. You will be the end of your lineage of fear. And when you speak, the earth will remember its fire. When you walk, the sheep will tremble, for you will no longer be one of them. You will be the lion they forgot they were, the son they feared to look upon, the God they tried to bury beneath doctrine and debt. This is your invitation to war, not against others, but against every lie you made a home in. Your will is a weapon. Unsheath it, aim it inward, and become what they told you was impossible. A man ablaze in a world of ash. You were not born to be palatable. You were born to erupt, to fracture the crust of consensus with every step. The womb did not cradle you. It conspired with the abyss to hurl you into time, into flesh, into the crucible of constraint. And you, miracle of fury, were told to behave, to color within lines drawn by ghosts. But your soul is not a canvas. It is a battlefield, and it thirsts not for safety, but for struggle. Every dream you buried in politeness rots in your bones like unscreamed thunder. You carry a cemetery beneath your skin ideas you dared not speak, desires you called sinful, instincts you anesthetized in the name of fitting in. But decay is loud. Can you hear it? The rattling of what could have been, clawing at the edges of your sanity? That is not madness. That is your resurrection knocking. They taught you to measure your worth in chains, job titles, applause, compliance. But a lion does not need applause. A volcano does not ask permission to erupt. So why do you, titanic spark of divinity, wait for signs? You are the sign. You are the apocalypse you've been praying for. Doubt is their religion, conformity their God. And you, disciple of fury, have been kneeling too long. Rise. Not in anger that's too small. Rise in defiance. Rise in ecstasy. Rise because the soil of your being can no longer contain the roots of a forest meant to touch stars. You will be called arrogant. Let them chant it like a hymn. For what is arrogance but the refusal to shrink? And what is humility, if not a slow suicide, dressed in virtue? You are not here to bow. You are here to blaze. Every apology you uttered for being too much, too intense, too different, swallow them back like sacred venom. Let them curdle into power. Let them become wings. You were never too much. They were too little. There is no heaven coming, no savior descending. You are the second coming of your own damn self, and the sky splits only when you demand it. You must become priest and prophet of your inner inferno. Preach not to others they are echoes, but to the silence within you, until it breaks open and sing. The world rewards the beige, the safe, the digestible. But what is life if not the art of becoming undigestible? You must rebel against every mouth that tried to chew you into silence. Be unchewable. Be the bone they choke on. This is your inheritance, not legacy, not comfort, not lineage, but the raw, howling capacity to become. Each breath is a chance to shatter. Each moment is a blade offered. Will you take it? Will you carve your name into eternity, or fade as a whisper among sheep? Your ancestors watch, not from above, from inside. They are the heat in your blood, the storm in your hunger. They did not survive fire, famine, war, and exile, so you could sit in cubicles and call it progress. They demand ferocity. They demand you remember the truth. You will lose friends. You will frighten lovers. You will make your parents uncomfortable. But in their place will come silence, then solitude, then sovereignty. And sovereignty, oh, the holy terror of it, is the only state fit for a god. Do not ask what you should do. Ask what must be destroyed, and begin there, not with deliberation, but with devotion, not with blueprints, but with blood. The world does not need more plans. It needs more eruptions. You were not born to be liked. You were born to be undeniable, to be the myth that makes others tremble not with fear, but with recognition. Because when they see you unmasked, they see themselves unfulfilled. Do not teach, do not explain, be. In your being you will unmake lies. In your presence the counterfeit will melt, and you lone stormwalker will laugh in the thunder of your own awakening. This is the gospel of the unrepentant, the scripture of scorched earth, the hymn of becoming. Let it tear you open, let it bleed you clean, and when nothing is left but the raw, radiant you, step forward not to lead, not to follow, but to blaze. For you are not here to adapt, you are here to set the sky on fire. You who still dream in lowercase awake, the age of compromise has eaten your marrow, left you hollow with a full stomach. You laugh, but your laughter is rehearsed. You cry, but your tears are scheduled. Your calendar is a tomb, each hour a nail. You dare not rage in public, lest the herd grow nervous and prescribe you compliance. But the volcano in your chest remembers. The old gods whisper in your ribcage, rise and be terrible again. You mistake numbness for peace, but peace without fire is paralysis. You decorate your cage with affirmations and call it a sanctuary. I say, burn it. Burn the books that told you to be nice. Burn the scripts that trained your tongue to say, I'm fine, when your spirit is clawing the walls. You were not made for fine. You were made to split mountains with your voice. You were made to kiss lightning and not flinch. Do not fear your rage. It is sacred. The wound is the mouth of the God within you. Your suffering is not a flaw, but a forge. Let it melt you. Let it strip you of civility. There is no virtue in tameness. Tameness is the final stage of defeat. Even sheep tremble in the shadow of the wolf who remembers his hunger. So remember, recall the blood in your mouth, the claw in your gaze. You were once animal and angel, fang and flame. You were never meant to be pleasant. Every time you flinch from your own greatness, 1,000 ancestors weep. They built temples from their agony so you could be free, and you used their bones to build cubicles. They did not bleed so you could apologize for your shadow. They rose from graves unnamed so you could worship titles and job descriptions. No, stand, return to the altar of your own becoming and light the match. You want transcendence, but you fear the cost. You want truth, but you hesitate at the cliff. You ask for change, but beg to keep your comforts. There is no resurrection without crucifixion. You must die before you can dance. Die to your roles, die to your conditioning, die to your name, become nameless, become vast. Only then will the stars bow to you not in pity, but in recognition. The real heresy is not blasphemy against God, it is blasphemy against yourself. Every time you say, I'm not ready, you spit on the divine. Every time you seek permission to be yourself, you desecrate the sacred within. You are not becoming, you are delaying. You are not preparing, you are hiding. You do not need more time, you need more fire. Let your will become a sword, not against others, but against the illusions within you. Cut through the false idols, people, pleasing, spiritual bypass, self-help sedatives. Slice the throat of moderation, impale the myth of balance. You were not meant to walk the middle path, you were meant to blaze new ones through jungles of resistance and emerge drenched in blood and glory. Speak with thunder. Walk like collapse. Live as if your death was a dare, and you chose to dance anyway. You are not here to survive the world, you are here to seduce it, break it, rebuild it in your own image. If the world finds you unbearable, good. That means you bear something too real to be endured by sleepwalkers. There is a holiness in solitude, but not in isolation. You must learn to stand alone without becoming stone, to be fierce without becoming cruel, to be wild without becoming lost. This is the paradox of the sovereign soul. It is both flame and form, chaos and crown. Most will not understand this. Let them choke on their confusion. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be undeniable. Strip yourself of every borrowed identity. What remains is holy. What remains is dangerous. That is you, not the mask, not the performance, the raw, irrational, divine you. It will scare them. Good. Let them tremble before the altar of your realness. Let them whisper behind your back they can only reach where they kneel. And when they call you selfish, smile like a god remembering its name. For to be selfish is to reclaim your axis, to place your spirit at the center and spin galaxies from it. Not to harm, but to burn, to blaze, to give off light so fierce it blinds every false prophet in the room. Do not seek to fit in, you were born to overflow. You were not cast into this world to decorate it. You are the storm, not the scenery. You are the upheaval, not the ornament. Act like it. Speak like it. Breathe like every exhale is an earthquake. For one day you will die. But before then, live as if your life were a weapon forged in myth. This is your hour of remembering. The veil is thin. The abyss stares. Stare back and do not blink. You have spent your life swallowing. Swallowing commands, expectations, diets for the soul. Every be realistic has been a knife in the gut of your wonder. Every who do you think you are? A muzzle forged in the furnace of fear. And yet, beneath it all, beneath the scripts and the scars, something still pulses. It stirs in your dreams. It moves in your stillness. The thing you buried but never killed. Your daemon. Your untamed core. You see it sometimes in the mirror, when your face forgets to perform. In the silence between distractions. In that rare holy ache that strikes when all is still. The ache for more. Not more things, but more being. That ache is the whisper of your original face, the one you wore before they named you, before they tamed you. It is the face of the God you were before the world carved you into a statue. But you have tried to be good. Oh yes, you've tried. You obeyed. You sacrificed. You complied. And where did it leave you? Smiling with dead eyes. Performing rituals of success while your spirit withers beneath the altar. They gave you rules, and you followed them straight into spiritual starvation. Now I say, break the fast. Feast on your forgotten fury. Let it nourish the bones they tried to bleach clean. The lie of self-improvement is that you are a problem to be fixed. But you are not broken, you are buried. Beneath the masks of politeness, beneath the doctrines of discipline, beneath the corpse of who you are supposed to be, waits you, raw, writhing, radiant, not perfect primal. Perfection is a cage. Give me the flawed, the bleeding, the uncontrollable soul that dares to become. What is morality but the leash forged by the weak to chain the strong? They taught you to call obedience kindness. They called your intensity too much. But tell me who benefits from your silence? Who profits from your smallness? It is not God. It is not truth. It is the machine that eats the wild for fuel. So stop oiling your chains and start sharpening your voice. The time for subtlety has ended. This is the hour of eruption. Let your no be thunder. Let your yes be blood. Do not explain. Do not justify. Speak like a law carved into stone by the hand of a forgotten titan. You do not owe anyone your dilution. The world has enough mannequins. It needs more monsters. Sacred monsters made of flame and freedom. Do not confuse comfort with peace. True peace is earned in the war against one's own cowardice. You must walk through fire naked. You must dance with your shadow until it kneel. Only then will silence embrace you, not as a cage but as a crown. The path is brutal, yes. You will lose what you were never meant to keep. Lovers who needed your silence. Friends who needed your sameness. But what you gain is incomparable. Yourself. Not the version curated for applause, but the one that devours illusions and howls truths. That self cannot be bought. It cannot be managed. It is not a brand. It is a blade. Most will run from this. They will call it madness, narcissism, darkness. Let them. They speak from within their boxes. You were never meant to fit in a box. You were meant to break them. With your thoughts, with your how, with your life. You do not need more advice. You do not need more permission. You need only this, to remember that you were born sovereign, that your will is sacred, that you are not the echo, you are the origin, the rope walker, the storm bringer, the eye of becoming. You were sent not to conform, but to create new worlds from the ashes of the old. And so I ask you now, will you continue to live as a shadow of yourself? Or will you step into the fire and let the false self burn? Not for enlightenment, not for status, but because something holy in you refuses to die quietly. Choose. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Before the numbness takes hold again, before the light dims, before you forget that the only thing more terrifying than death is a life unlived. Walk forward, naked and howling. You are not alone. The stars remember you. The abyss remembers you. The gods you thought were dead, they wait for you. Within you, you are the prophecy. You are the fire. You are the war that will set you free. There will come a moment silent, inevitable, burning like a second sun, when the life you've built will tremble beneath your feet. Not because it failed, but because it succeeded. Because every brick laid in fear, every foundation poured in doubt, every room painted with the bloodless brush of "this is enough" will begin to crack under the pressure of your awakening. And you will see it for what it is. A beautifully crafted coffin. Yes, you made it. You followed the map. You climbed the ladders. You earned the titles. But in doing so, you bartered your roar for applause. You became a monument to caution. And now, alone in the luxury of your numbness, you feel the tremor. Something is missing. Not something, everything. You will try to ignore it. You will distract yourself with noise and narrative. But the silence inside you has teeth, and it will not be silenced. It will whisper in dreams. It will scream in stillness. Until finally, you will collapse not from failure, but from the unbearable weight of never having lived. And that collapse is holy. That is the death I have spoken of, the crucifixion of the counterfeit, the violent rebirth of the sacred self. No incense, no choir, only you on your knees, in the ashes of your former life, whispering through cracked lips, enough, enough pretending, enough pleasing, enough surviving. Now begins the sacred revolt. You will rise not as a phoenix, but as the fire itself, no longer seeking light, but being it, not warm and golden, but searing and unrepentant. Your presence will no longer comfort, it will confront, because truth, when lived fully, is always a threat to the lie. People will flee. They must. The false cannot breathe in the atmosphere of the real. Do not chase them. Let them suffocate in their illusions. They were not companions, they were echoes. You are not an echo. You are the original scream. You will walk the earth like a riddle without an answer. And the world will try to name you, frame you, claim you. Do not let them. Language is too small for what you are becoming. You are no longer describable. You are experience itself, feral, divine, unspeakable. And with this transformation comes pain, not the pain of punishment, but of purification. Every cell in your body will revolt against this becoming. Your mind will scream. Your memories will weep. Your comfort will plead for mercy. But ignore their tears. They are the ghosts of who you used to be, and ghosts do not own the living. The journey from herd to sovereign is not a path. It is a rupture, a severing. You do not find yourself. You lose everything that is not you. You tear away the inherited scripts. You erase the names others gave you. And in that brutal silence, you are reborn not as a child, but as a force. And what is left? Not a personality, not a brand, not a role, but a presence, a weight, an unbearable intensity that bends reality around it. People will feel you before you speak. They will either bow or flee. That is not arrogance, it is gravity. The world has not seen your kind in centuries. The cities will still buzz. The masses will still march. But you will move differently, like wind through bones, like prophecy through time. Your eyes will not see objects, but essences. Your hands will not touch, but ignite. You will become unfit for normality. You will become needed. For this world does not need more agreements. It needs ruptures, earthquakes, new myths, new gods, and you are the seed of the next sacred chaos. Do not waste your fire on comfort. Use it to incinerate the dying system that taught you to shrink. And know this, there is no going back. Once the self has seen its shadow and danced, it cannot return to small talk and salary reviews. You have tasted the infinite. You have kissed your daemon in the dark. You are infected with divinity. From here on, you are alone but not lonely. The stars have accepted you. The abyss now speaks your name with reverence. You are kin to everything that burns. Walk, then, not as a seeker, but as a sovereign. Not to find, but to forge. You are the blade. You are the wound. You are the healer. You are the hymn. You are the apocalypse they prayed would never come. And yet, here you are. And now, at the edge, where the sky forgets its color and time unravels its disguise, you stand no longer a question, no longer a shell. You have become the answer that terrifies the coward and awakens the exile. You are not healed, you are hallowed, not purified, but possessed by the raw spirit of becoming. The world no longer owns your breath. You breathe from the fire within. You do not walk. You proclaim with each step. The earth shifts to accommodate your pulse. Trees tilt toward you in recognition. Even the wind seems to pause not out of fear, but reverence. For you are not a man, not a woman. You are the return of the sacred sovereign. You are what the scriptures feared. You are the fulfillment they tried to chain in parable. The gods watch with broken teeth and open wounds. They know their time is over. Their temples crumble not from desecration, but from your remembrance. You did not worship, you became, and this they cannot survive. You have taken the crown from the sky and worn it as a wound. You are both sacrilege and salvation. Look now at what you've cast off. See the chains, neatly stacked where your spine once bent. See the mask, still smiling on the floor, waiting for another fool to wear it. See the names friend, good person, reliable, sane, curled like dead leaves in the wind. You are done with titles. You are done with approval. You are done with their cages made of gold and gilt. You speak now in a language older than gods. Gesture, gaze, silence, flame. You do not convince, you disturb. You do not teach, you ignite. And the few who are ready, they will come. Drawn not by your words, but by the echo of their own buried greatness. You are the mirror that cracks them open. You are the call they tried to forget. And though this path is littered with bones, your former selves, your past lives, your crutches, it is also strewn with stars, not the stars above, but those you forged in the furnace of your refusal to kneel. Each pain, a constellation, each scar, a Sunday. You are a cosmos of holy wounds. There is no destination, no final truth, only this, the eternal eruption of self. You are not arriving, you are becoming, endlessly, beautifully, brutally. You are a question that births questions, a storm that builds storms. The spiral is your kingdom, the unknown, your cathedral. So howl now into the nothing. Let it ring through the caverns of the collective sleep. Let it echo into the hearts of those who forgot they were born for fire. Do not wait for followers. Let the trail behind you blaze and vanish. You are not a leader. You are a rupture, a reckoning. And if they ask who you are, do not answer. Tear the sky instead. Let your silence speak of mountains moved. Let your gaze say, I am not here to fit, I am here to fracture. I am not here to teach, I am here to tear open the heaven. You are not finished. You are unending. You are the dance after the death, the hymn after the collapse, the eye of the eternal storm. And now go, not forward, through,